Hi, and welcome back to the Jen and Sean Show. I'm Jen. No, I'm not. I'm Sean.
We're off to a great start.
Oh, we sure are.
I'm Jen.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes, you are. And we're taking you on the next chapter of our journey through Japan. This one, we head off to Kyoto after being in the snow at Hakuba. It was a journey that we left our fabulous place in the snow, sad to see it go, and hopped on a bus that went through mountains and over dale and through tunnels. Busy as train stations, and, you know, we got up to a few things on the way through too, didn't we?
We did. I managed to get some stamps, some Eki stamps in my stamp book, which I was very happy about.
Yeah, they're kind of everywhere. So you were filling up the book, which was kind of cool. As I sat back,
It's like a
so
pilgrimage
patiently
on its own.
Yeah.
Just to get all your stamps.
It really was.
It's amazing.
We decided to stay, or had arranged to stay, in fabulous Kyoto, the imperial city of Japan, for multiple days. Not just a single day or 2 days. I think we ended up being there
4 days.
4 days.
And that was, I think, when we went last year, we only did a day trip to Kyoto. So we did, I think it was 2 or 3 days in Osaka, and one of those was to Kyoto.
Yep.
And we just didn't have enough time to see and do everything. So we thought this time we'll actually base ourselves there and go where we needed to go and see other things, come back to there as a base, which was a great idea as it turned out.
Yeah, you get to explore different neighbourhoods, the cultural depth that's available there. And day trips are super easy once you're actually based out of a single area. And there's so many temples.
So many temples.
So many temples. Our accommodation when we stayed there was a little bit north of the city centre in a, what was the place called?
It was called the Resi Stay Mayu Grace Hotel. I think that's a translation. Resi Stay, I think, would be the equivalent of like a residential stay. So more of a apartment style.
Yeah.
And it was gorgeous. It was so good.
It was easily the best accommodation we had of our trip. But there was a special reason for choosing this one.
Location-wise, so it was not right in the middle of everything, but it was still quite, I'm going to say central. It was pretty much located in between a bunch of bus stops and also one of the train stations, not Kyoto Station. It was probably, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from the train?
It was a 15-minute walk, which again emphasised why you travel light. What was the main thing about our accommodation that you really wanted to nail, though?
Because we were there multiple days, I didn't just want a hotel room. Anything over, I'm going to say 2 nights, you kind of want to unpack a little bit and spread out and get comfy. So I looked for something specifically that was more like an apartment, which this one was. There was more than enough space. There was heaps of closet space. The bathroom was huge.
And a fully functional kitchen.
Fully functional kitchen with all the mod cons that you'd expect, and a really comfy bed, spacious bedroom. We had a TV.
After this, getting in for the first night, I chose to go to a restaurant nearby, Bonsai 1877. It was literally out the door, 3-minute walk away, and it was just gorgeous food again. The next day was one that I'd been anticipating for some time because I was going to see one of the highlights of the Japan trip for myself. We went to Nijō Castle and super excited. Look, I'm truly a big kid at heart. Castles fascinate me. My first Lego set was a castle, a medieval castle. Moats, love a good moat, battlements, walls, history. It was just brilliant. So I just love that sort of thing. The Nijō Castle itself, really easy to get to from our accommodation. It's about a 10-minute walk. To get in is about $8 adult admission. The inner palaces cost additional, like $5 and $10 respectively, to view them. And they're open on different days and actual times as well. So it's better to check that out online before you go if you want to see something specific. And for a little bit of history about the place, it was originally built in 1603 for the original Tokugawa shogunate. It's famous for nightingale floors, which I call a bit of bullshit on because the guide we had said it wasn't. I reckon they know. What that means is basically where the wooden boards designed to chirp when you walk upon them.
Yeah. It squeaked.
It did squeak, but they were saying, yes, it was...
So was it just sketchy craftsmanship?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a blend of imperial and samurai architecture, and I really got my castle on, really, by going through it all. It's got gold leaf everywhere, sliding doors, paintings all across all the screens, although most of them are actually in the museum. These are all replicas, which is kind of interesting.
It was so cold in there because we had to take our shoes off, definitely.
God forbid if you need to go to the loo, you just got to hold it.
No, it's like being in IKEA. You can only go one way once you start, and you've just got to follow the arrows to get to the end before you can get out. You can't sort of nick off halfway through and then try and come back again. So, yeah, you either went before you went in or you held on till the end.
Yeah. Probably one of the biggest spectacles of the place, though, is the gardens.
Oh, that was stunning.
They're just amazing to see. They were originally designed by famous garden master Koburo Enshu. And he was all about emphasising harmony between nature and architecture. And you really get that feel for it, don't you? There are 3 separate gardens within the actual castle itself, all from really distinct periods. One of the interesting things that fascinated me was the giant koi fish, or the ornamental carp. They were monsters.
They were chonky.
Obviously, exiting the area, you go through the gift shop.
Exit via the gift shop.
And Jen, you had a crack at a random gotcha machine.
Yeah, and it had the castle in it. Which I'm pretty happy about, although I couldn't figure out how to get it open. It was pretty childproof at the time, so we had to wait till we got back to the hotel for that.
That's right.
Which was added to the surprise.
It really did. And then the next was a massive highlight for you, wasn't it?
It was. It was. We didn't do another castle. We did a temple. So we went to Kinkaku-ji Temple, which is the Golden Pavilion. Again, this was one of the ones that we didn't get to last year, probably because we spent so much time at Fushimi Inari last year, which, again, amazing. But anyway, so we wanted to go and see this one. It was about a half hour on the bus. It's really cold. Much colder than I was expecting. And it was just gorgeous. The whole compound, again, they're very big. It's like it builds up the suspense, I feel like, of when you go to all these places, because the entryway and the paths leading in there are so long that you've got to ramp yourself up for it.
Well, you can't see the central piece until you're right on it.
No, that's right. So... we headed in there. Now, this was originally a shogun's villa. Began as a retirement villa for Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, and I'm pretty sure I've just butchered the pronunciation of that. So before you all start coming for me,
I think you did
sorry
it right.
about that. That was in the late 14th century, and then after he died in 1408, it actually became a Zen Buddhist temple, which is what he wanted. The current structure, though, was rebuilt in 1955.
After something really weird, right?
It was super weird. So in 1950, a monk actually burned down the original pavilion in an act of arson. And I believe that I think he went to jail for that, but then they let him out on mental health reasons. And then I'm pretty sure that he took his own life after that.
Yeah.
But the temple that you can see today is a meticulous reconstruction using traditional methods. So it's pretty much designed to look obviously better, but as it did originally.
But real gold.
Real gold leaf. Yep. The top 2 stories are covered in genuine gold leaf, which symbolises purity and detachment from the material world, which kind of...
I don't know.
It seems like a bit of an oxymoron.
Yeah, it just makes me want to covet. It makes me covet the gold.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I'm not material, but I'm going to cover my house in gold. And it also reflected power and the wealth of the Ashikaga shogunate. As we got to the actual pavilion itself, to the viewing platform right near it, it actually started snowing, which
it was just so surreal.
Beautiful. There was no wind. It wasn't slushy or anything. It was big, fat, fluffy snowflakes. It was just gorgeous.
Yeah, it really was. It's hard to see in the video if you're watching the video, but yeah, it was snowing pretty much the whole time.
Oh, it was kind of magical, actually. It was almost one of those fairy tale sort of moments that takes your breath away a little bit. It was, I loved it. And again, the day that we went, it was I want to say it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, it was a midweek, early morning.
Yeah, so we went there on a weekend. It wasn't that busy. Like, yes, there was a significant amount of people, but we didn't have to queue. We weren't getting jostled out of position. We got some amazing photos and video right up close to the temple. Yeah, it was awesome. I think we nailed it with the timing. It was really, really great.
Had plenty of time to be able to look at it, wander around because the pathways take you to different viewing spots, which was brilliant. And then, there were other things to see while you're there as well, but obviously the main attraction is a particular pavilion. There were other shrines where you could go and get some candle offerings, which we did. So this was all about, again, in respect of the Buddha.
Mine kept going out, though, before I could go and put it in the cabinet. I got a bit worried about that.
Yeah, you lost
I didn't know whether that was a sign.
It's all about creating good karma. You weren't creating good karma. You were
I couldn't retain my karma flame.
Yeah. And so it was filling up with people, but again, we had enough time. You go through it all up. It probably took maybe an hour and a half.
I was going to say, about an hour and a half.
So you don't spend all day there or half a day. I think the entry fee was probably, I don't actually know what it is. So we'll put it up on the ticker maybe.
It might have been like 1,000 yen. It was about $10.
$10.
It wasn't much. No.
So that was pretty easy, but a really big bucket list.
Keepsakes than what we did getting in there.
Yeah, we gave up more offerings for the good karma and tranquility and things like that, which, who doesn't need more tranquility?
Everyone needs tranquility.
I know.
Bit of serenity. And just stick it on there.
Just go to the top. You don't need to push it down. I broke. Oh, wow. What was this?
What an exit. All right, that was way cooler than what I was expecting. Not crowded.
Camera on camera.
And we got a really good shot.
Yeah.
Ooh. Just got to be careful don't fall down the stairs.
By this time, we were getting our hunger on. We also had a couple of key things we needed to pick up at Nishiki Market. And again, we just jumped on a bus and pretty much took us there.
Most people are like, I've just got to duck down the shops to get this or get that because I've run out. No, we just have to duck into Nishiki to stock up on rice seasoning and matcha because we'd run out. So.
Which, Kyoto's kitchen, over 100 food stalls, specialty shops, restaurants, people love it, come from all over the world to see it, and we just needed a couple of little things and smashed down a big plate of...
Ramen?
Ramen?
We had ramen there that
we
time.
had ramen. We're feeling
nice.
a bit sketchy then as well, as we normally do, as we travel along and have too many...
Sake's the night before.
Sake's the night before. So one of the biggest reasons why you try and stay centrally in Kyoto is so you can tick off these things. Again, we didn't try and fit in too much in one day.
No.
And so that it meant that we were able to take our time and ultimately wind our way back to our digs for planning of our next adventure for the next day. So there you have it. Our day in Kyoto, checking out Nijō Castle, Kinkaku-ji temple.
Yep.
So thanks for riding along with us. Keep listening, keep watching for the next episode. Talk to you then.
Bye.